The new players are just taking a little bit longer to adjust to the TS Galaxy way of doing things.
Here it is, though, for TS Galaxy, Bongani. 8 times they've played against Orlando Pirates. It's 4 wins for Orlando Pirates. It's 3 wins for TS Galaxy. But you know what? Those 3 wins, 1-0 wins, you mentioned it, of course, 1-0, 1-0, were at home. Here's their starting lineup.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, they could prove to be a little... certainly Sibelebele, who's one of the pillars that has remained. I mean, he's important to the side to sort of remain.
Looking at this team, is a team that is going to be... They can play a 4-2-3-1 formation. They can play a 4-3-3 formation. What is key? Side of doing things is going to be key for me. The chairman of the club against Orlando Pirates, it will be key in that false 9 position tonight. How do the pairing of Sibisi and Sesane deal with the pace of Mahlangu? It's going to be a key battle that I'm looking forward to.
And now the balance also, because then you they can break down your play and give you all kinds of problems.
They definitely can, and you know, it's important, you know, as you see the coach, the starting lineup of Pirates, you know, waiting to see that in terms of what their midfield looks like. We know that the midfield can become extremely offensive and it can also be a little bit conservative, but the front 4, you know, remains all-out attack. Mkota, brilliant. I mean, brilliant in his last fixture, a couple of goals. Could have walked away with a hat-trick. Hotto, I mean, the ever-ready Hotto, he's like an ever-ready battery, really. He never really dies, does he? So Sibisi again has come in terms of, you know, being a leader with the captain's armband. Good to see him back. And the most evident, you know, Makgopa, in terms of just being the main focal point and just being different to what Mabasa offers.
Looking at those names, you think Orlando Pirates can play a 4-2-3-1 formation. Orlando Pirates with tactical flexibility can play a 4-3-3 formation. When you're looking at those names, you start to look at the key players, the ones that have been the evergreen. Talking about evergreen, that is one of those players that have been evergreen. The exciting and dynamic Moau Nkota, 2 goals in the previous game. Makgopa will be excited for this game, being in the prelim squad for Bafana Bafana. He's back in the national team. You see a CVC will be wearing the captain's armbelt, Mbata in that 8th position. I don't think in South African football there's a player that is playing better in terms of that 8th position, box to box, than Mbata at Orlando Pirates.
Yeah, you know, we just saw Relay in the picture there. I think, you know, he's, you know, the past couple of games have been so impressed again, once again. I mean, this boy's intelligence has no bounds. I mean, he's reinvented himself in his 2nd season. You know, now he sort of, you know, he comes into the pocket, you know, that hot zone in terms of being in the middle of the park. And the thing is, that is an area where non-confident players hate having the ball, but he loves it and he demands it in those areas. I mean, as you're watching Kota there with a wonderful strike, I mean, you can't plan for that. That is sheer instinct, sheer talent, and beautiful execution.
When I look at this goal, I look at the teamwork, I look at the game plan, I look at players that are staying disciplined. Mbata again with that reverse pass. You can see the unselfishness of Relay Mofokeng, playing a player in a better position. These are 2 boys that were playing in the DDC together. Their partnership is growing with leaps and bounces in the first team, and they keep growing and learning. They're playing football with a smile on their faces, Brapoms.
Yeah, you know, and this is just a classic mix-up. I mean, you know, Rasibotja, unfortunately, he sort of avails himself by sort of coming short, and then he tells poor Sesane to then play it wide, where the wide channel has been closed. But as a midfielder, once you avail yourself, remain available. Don't now become unavailable for whatever reason because you think there's a better pass that is on. That's where the mix-up comes from. So what happens is, Sesane lifts his head, he sees one player coming, he sees there's an option. Unfortunately, the option to the line, which is the safest, that's been blocked out, which is great defending. Now I have to go in the middle, but that ball in the middle as a defender, as a midfielder, you have to stay true and honest because that is my outlet ball. So unfortunately, that's where the mistake comes across and they concede last minute of the game, well, in dying minutes.
In simple words, Bongani says, deal with what you can control. If you have availed yourself, go throughout that move, go and avail yourself, protect the ball. You can't be half pregnant. It's either pregnant or you're not pregnant. Rasibotja in that moment is coming short, then he's pointing to say the ball must go the other way. sokunika. So ungaveli bese ukhomba somewhere else. But in all of that being said, the option was there in the wide position. Could have Orlando Pirates gone with that wide option a little bit earlier on? The answer is yes, but when you are in control, deal with what you can control.
Let's talk about this Orlando Pirates defense then, because you see, and you've mentioned it already, Pumuzo, Munyane then comes into that right back position. What expected of him then with Dino being injured?
I think, you know, Dino's been fantastic. I think his energy, and certainly when it comes to the final third, you know, if I'm honest, I prefer his final product. I think, you know, his choice of passes seems to be a little bit better than Munyane at this point. So for Munyane coming in, obviously it's about him taking a chance. I've liked him, to be fair, just because of his pace, just because he's, you know, I always enjoy watching players that love receiving the ball while on the run, and he's one of those players. You know, he doesn't wait and then hope. He's always running and expecting it to come. So because of that, that makes him very, very effective. But now the question is, how good is the final ball once the ball gets to you in the wide areas? So that's a little bit of the question mark. And then on the other side is that, what is your position like? Should we be under pressure? You know, do you know when to pick your moments? Because you're such an offensive fullback, do you know when to go and when to hold? That all of a sudden becomes the question. But for me, a ready replacement.
Okay, for the very first time then tonight, let's go across to the Mbombela Stadium and hear from the both coaches.
Today, you welcome and inform Orlando Pirates. When we look at TS Galaxy, it has been somewhat of a slow start. Your plans tonight to take on Pirates. Good evening, Coach.
Evening. Yeah, we are playing against a very, very great team. It's a fantastic club with unbelievable great supporters, and they also show on their field that they started very well into the season. They have unbelievable great players, also great coaching staff, so it will be a very, very tough game for us, but we are well prepared. I think that we don't deserve to stay where we stay now. If you watch the last 3-4 games we played. So all in all, yes. Points.
And what do you think has been the cause for the inconsistencies at the Rockets? You're through to the next round of the Cup competition, only 1 point in the league, and still looking for that very first win.
Look, if you lose every season half of your team, and the new players that come in that didn't even play in their club, it's not easy, you know, to get this kind of fitness. We have to improve, we have to be better, and we will. We are very positive into the stage where we are, and we believe in our quality, and we will bounce back.
Thank you so much for your time. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Orlando Pirates in action this time in a away game. How do you plan on taking a TS Galaxy side who are desperate for points?
A really difficult game. We're talking about, if I'm not wrong, after Sundowns, the best team at home the last season. It's always difficult to play against Galaxy in Mbombela. They didn't have an easy beginning of the season, but it doesn't mean that they are the football that they have and the capacity that they have is represented by the position that they are right now in the lock. It's going to be an uncomfortable game for us, for sure, to attack. It's a team with a capacity to run to the limit in order to get the result. We are prepared. Hopefully everything can come together during the 90 minutes.
Looking at the lineup that you've chosen this evening, Noma Swangai, Munyane comes in. Can you elaborate the lineup for tonight, Coach?
Well, some of our players, regular ones, are not available for tonight. Cabello is coming in the position of Tito, and Monjana is replacing Dino, injured in the last game. And we're trying to give continuity one more time. We have 3 days between the games, trying to recover. I think everybody's in a good mood, in a good spirit. So hopefully, again, everything can come together during the 90. Early in the game is very important, and we can be the better team.
A lot of the fans are looking for that 100% record to continue, wanting to see 6 out of 6. Is that pressure that Orlando Pirates and the team do have?
To be honest, I'm like I said many times, I'm not a person who is thinking about records or numbers. We take every game like something special, like something important, like an opportunity to play football and get the 3 points and all the consequences of that, but not really thinking if it's the number 6 or 7 or 8. We know what we want in the end of the 30, and we know that to make it possible, we are fighting against teams with capacity to collect a terrible number of points in the end of the season, so every point counts for us.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Well, the both coaches sounding really confident. Well, gentlemen, your reactions, Pumuzo.
I think when you're looking at this Cheers Galaxy team, it's a team with a lot of potential. I remember the young Sibanyoni, watching him at the Pirates Cup, scoring goals at such a tender age. That's where they scouted him at the Pirates Cup. He's one that they need to watch out for. The likes of Umbata will be guiding him in terms of the experience up top. But when you're looking at this Orlando Pirates team, I don't think mob justice football is going to be stopped tonight.
Yeah, I mean, look, our league is really hard to call, isn't it? But with Pirates, obviously, looking to obviously make a piece of history with 6 straight wins, it's all there for them to do. With TS Galaxy, at some point things need to turn around. Because you play Pirates, let's be honest, every player gets a little bit of extra energy, right? The extra boost within our league. So with all those variables considered, I think I want to say Pirates win, but let me go with a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. The last time there was that draw was in the 2020-2021 season, of course. I want to take a prediction, though. Amazulu Chipa, please. Are at home. New Peter Mokaba Stadium.
I think if Khune come from a really surprising result, I think they'll win this one 2-0.
That it is, then, for the first time, is not sitting on the fence. It's the Betway Premiership right here on your World of Champions. Lisa Kazini forever. Stay with us. Live football comes up just after this. Cheers Galaxy at the Mbombela Stadium up against Orlando Pirates.
The Premier Soccer League is proud to present the Betway Premiership.
Did you know that the height of astronauts increased by 3% over the first 3 to 4 days in space? That a snail can sleep for 3 years straight? Or that the longest recorded flight of a chicken was 13 seconds? What? Now you know. But here's something else that you should know. Games Price Beat Promise. If you find cheaper at a competitor store on the same day, we'll beat their price by 10% on the difference. Now you know. Games got you, and you've got game.
You don't need the skills to bring the moves. You don't need a new dress. And you can dance in those. You don't need to hear the beat to bring the moves. You don't even need to use hands, not for persons under the age of 18.
Shisanyama. Yeah, it can be tricky. We can't get enough of it, even when there's not enough of it. Sometimes things can get spicy. And some sides are just offside. Let's not make sure. Do Shisanyama the easy way. We'll do the flame seared, you do the enjoy. Get Spur's new 350-gram Shisanyama spiced T-bone for only $169.90. Spur. People with a taste for life.
Hey, Uncle Smooth.
Okay, cool. Check your map. Are we going the right way? I'm following you.
The Corolla Cross Hybrid. Cross boundaries.
Orlando Pirates are the early pace setters in the Betway Premiership this season, and they are looking to emulate their best ever start to a campaign. As they take aim at ailing TS Galaxy this evening. A very warm welcome from the magnificent Bombela Stadium. Lovely conditions here this evening, and plenty of Orlando Pirates fans have turned up to see if their team can continue in the way that they have started this season and indeed continue to hold the summit. Very interesting dynamic at play. A few things in football arouse interest, quite like a top versus bottom clash. That's in essence what we have here this evening. It is first, the Buccaneers versus 15. One side has won all their games, the other side has won none. But with that being said, TS Galaxy have had a bit of a difficult draw to start the season, just on the fact that they've had to play all of their first 4 games in the Betway Premiership on the road. They are finally back on home soil. The only other instance that they've been at home this season was in the Carling Knockout first round, where they did manage to get a win over Chipper United, and last season they were absolutely excellent here at the Bombela Stadium. No side won as many games as they did at home. In fact, they were level with eventual champions Mamelodi Sundowns in that particular regard. Well, believe me, the noise here is absolutely deafening. We still don't have the first tier fully packed out. It is, of course, a weekday evening, but those that have decided to come and spend their Tuesday evening here are bringing plenty of noise and providing a fantastic atmosphere. As we let you in on the team news, just one change for Galaxy from the side that started on Saturday away to Marumo Gallants. Kobulwaka Sibande was hooked off in that first half and replaced by Spiwe Mahlangu. So that's what they go with from the very start today, with Mahlangu in for Sibande as part of an otherwise unchanged lineup. Samukelo Kabini scored against Gallants. He's a former Orlando Pirates development player. That was his first ever goal in senior football. Here's William Shongwe with the formation.
It's a diamond in that middle of the park. It's 4, and it's Kilo 6, and then a little to the right is Mbong Velase, and to the left is Tidejane. Mahlangu in front, completing the diamond. But it's the good movement of these 4 players who obviously will slow down things in that middle of the park for Orlando Pirates to penetrate.
Vasile Dramovic acknowledged that they had had a difficult start this season. Of course, a slightly disrupted off-season as well. And Orlando Pirates are currently providing opposition with the toughest test in the land at the moment. They go with 2 changes from last Friday's win over AmaZulu. Dino van Rooyen was injured in the first half of that game. Jose Michael came in at the Orlando Stadium. Today he's on the bench with Thabiso Monyani in at right back. Patrick Maswangani rested. Kabelo Dlamini is in as the other change. Those are the 2 changes. Still no Saleng at the moment, but that means we get to see a lot more of the teenager, Maon Kota, fresh off his brace against Lesotho.
The biggest challenge for Orlando Pirates to link up with the front players, and 2 players does that very well, Mbata and Dlamini. Obviously Makaula sits just to secure things defensively, but the movement thereafter in front of these 2 is just amazing. Gota, Mofokeng, Mahopa, it's all a mix of just quality in front for Orlando Pirates.
Our referee for today's match is Eugene Mdluli, assisted by Alpha Sitoli, and Molan Flatchwayo Matete will be the 4th official for today's match. TS Galaxy come into this one having earned their very first points over the weekend in that draw with Marumo Gallants. They had the lead in that game, ultimately went on to relinquish it against a Gallants side that were operating with 10 men. It was perhaps a performance from TS Galaxy that did warrant the full 3 points, but they have to forget about that, pick themselves up for this match against Orlando Pirates, who are 5-5 to start the season, and they could go on and earn their 6th successive victory at the beginning of a campaign for just the 2nd time in the PSL era, and the first time in over 20 years, 2002-2003 season, when they won the league. Well, we assumed that Mamelodi Sundowns would be keeping pace with Orlando Pirates, but that was not the case on Sunday when they fell to Polokwane City. So Pirates have a 3-point advantage at the summit. They could extend that to 6 and really put the pressure on the chasing pack, who, apart from Sundowns, are falling a little way behind. Sundowns at home to Cape Town City, the side that denied them invincible status at the end of last season. As we get underway here at the Mbombela Stadium, this is the 9th league meeting between these 2 sides. It's actually been incredibly even over the years. Orlando Pirates with 4 wins, TS Galaxy with 3. Just the solitary draw in what was their very first meeting. So that means that their last 7 matchups between these 2 sides have all produced a winner. Someone has emerged with the 3 points as Galaxy get on the front foot here. They were the team that triumphed when these 2 sides last met. That was in mid-May, towards the end of last season. The Rockets have not won since. Orlando Pirates have not lost since. How about this for an early show of intent, though?
Well, Monyani was brilliant in just making sure that he covers that end beautifully, though it came at the cost of the corner, but at least they got the numbers to be able to defend against that. And he applied some power to it, except for that he couldn't find the target. That for me is a concerning factor if you allow a player to be able to pick a header in such a very dangerous area of the field.
Dion Hotto has won the ball illegally here off Thokozani Sibanyoni. It is the Namibian's 34th birthday today, so happy birthday to Dion Hotto. He'll be hoping to put in another excellent display. Got off the mark in the league exactly a week ago. The 2nd goal in a 2-0 win over Supersport United. Has scored a couple of goals against TS Galaxy in the past as Dion Hotto. Makaula came off his chest. Mufokeng heavily gets it clear. Makaula looking down the line, but it is an excellent interception by the veteran. Ball back with Sibisi. He's captained the side a few times now this season. Sesane. Two really good performances against SuperSport and Amazulu respectively after what many would have deemed a rather forgettable day at the office in the first round of the Carling knockout. That defeat, 3-2 defeat to Magesi when he was culpable for 2 of the 3 goals they shipped. Away by Sibisi. Space to work with here for Shembata. Makaula. Sibisi. Kota. Nice little give and go. Too much on that from Makasheni Makaula. Shembata. In the Bafana squad once again, along with Evidence Makropa, as Nkota gets on the ball, slipping it through here for Mufokeng. I think he and Makropa just in a little bit of a mix-up. But listen to the roar when Nkota gets on the ball, considering that when he cuts in from that particular flank, he can let fly, as he illustrated with his first ever senior goal against Amazulu.
Growing with every game that he's playing, but also what makes him real difficult is that he seems to be using both legs, so you can never predict which way is he going to try and come out. He can cut into the inside, players inverted, but also he can spread wide.
Naturally left-footed, but very capable with both feet. Almost got his hat-trick with his right. There's Evidence Makropa. Still Makropa looking to lay it off. Dlamini was just lurking on the edge of the area where he loves to position himself for those long shots.
Isolated Makropa as he tried to wriggle his way past the 2 defenders. Eventually he was closed down. Here's the move that got nearly created something very important. It's a good pass initially, but first touch from Makropa lets him down badly.
Now Ngota, youngest player to score for Orlando Pirates since really Mufokeng at the end of the 2022-23 season, also against Amazulu. Mufokeng a lot younger though when he did it. He was just 18 years at the time. Kabini tossing it back into play, the 20-year-old who joined last season, had been with the Orlando Pirates development. This is the second time that he's playing up against his former team. Appeared from the start in that 1-0 win back in mid-May when Spiro Klung scored the only goal. There is the Ivorian, Tabit Ira, going in goal for TS Galaxy, who have had quite a turnover in terms of goalkeepers over the past few seasons, including Malusi Kutulezi, who ended up at Orlando Pirates and is on the bench for them today.
I think what I can pick up already is that the game is playing at such a high speed, and when that happens, there's usually a big turnover of ball possession because everything is being rushed. from the back. It's pushed into the middle, and there's high pressing. So this is one of the two who needs to maybe try and help come down slightly just to get a better grip of the game.
Lovely work initially from Puso Ditijani, and then shots flies wide from Velasa.
It's a good start though for TS Galaxy, a team that you expect maybe to play with a little bit of fear against Orlando Pirates, and having failed to win a single game in the 4 that they played. But like you said, one of the reasons that is very obvious is that they play most of their games away. It's always very difficult in these stages of the season to get the combinations going.
This is a matchup that has produced plenty of early goals over the past few years, as Ditijani again looks to try and work something. Now, okay, outpaced by Kamagelo Sibilibili. Handball from Talente Mbate. I was saying, of the 13 goals that have been scored across the 8 league matches between these two sides, 3 of them have come inside the opening 10 minutes. 5 goals inside the opening quarter hour, actually, which means that almost 40% of all the goals in this match have come within 15 minutes. So you wonder today whether we will see another early strike.
Here's another interesting view from TS Galaxy. Play on the right full-back position is Sibilibili. And Munyai is sitting on the bench.
Now this is looking good for them, sneaking it through for Bata. Lovely exchange of passes there. Initially Mohamed Kota, who made his first full start for Orlando Pirates against Supersport United just a week ago. What a whirlwind week it must have been for a young man, originally from Kimberley. He'll be turning 20 this coming month, just over a week's time for Mohamed Kota.
And I guess the situation around the Pirates is actually beautiful, in as far as this youngsters are concerned. When I understand coming into a team that is playing that well, it's easy to transition into the team. So that's one thing that obviously has worked well. Mofokeng also just about applying himself in the same way.
Ball given away again. Bata into the path here of Mofokeng. Rescue from Evidence Makgopa. That's another chance created by Riley Mofokeng, who was on fire against AmaZulu.
If Makgopa does get his calmness and composure in front of the 6F box, I'm sure he'll find himself scoring a whole lot more than he has scored so far, because he gets into the box and he does get the delivery into his run.
Now Bata almost nicking it away there from Dion Hotto. Back to Ira. This is Kiba. Mofokeng closing him down and mentioning was originally accredited as 10 chances created in that game against AmaZulu, now amended to 9. That's another chance for this season. Really, Mofokeng now 21 chances created. He's far and above the next best in the division. But what is fascinating is that last season, after 5 games, he had created just 5 chances. This season, after 5 games, 20 chances created.
The player is improving in every sense.
Yeah.
And you talk about the creativity. It means his thinking ability is also getting better, because he's able to find or pass the ball into the right areas. And Munyane down.
Yeah, they can't afford to have any more problems at right back. Orlando Pirates. It looked like the nasty coming together. Now the development project, the product who graduated against one who is now playing top-flight football, but not for the Buccaneers in Kabini. That looked rather nasty. It's Munyane who's remained down longest.
It hasn't been long since he returned from injury himself into the right full-back position, where many have been injured. And you're talking of Shandu, you're talking of Levito. That's just the number of injuries that has come from one position. I mean, just recently, Van Rooyen.
Yeah. Jose Ribeiro, this is his 99th match in charge of Orlando Pirates. He is looking for win number 60, 59 wins in charge of the Buccaneers so far, including wins and losses on penalties as well. What a fabulous impact the Spaniard has had with this club. Completely rejuvenating them. Velasa did well to intercept Lamini's ball. TS Galaxy haven't won any of their last 6 league games, dating back to last season's win over Orlando Pirates on the 18th of May. They have conceded in each of those 6 matches since. It's the first time conceding 6 league matches in a row since across November and December of 2021. So it is a difficult patch for TS Galaxy at the moment. But of course, lost a whole host of players once again in the off-season. If you look at their backline, it's unbelievable just in terms of their respective ages of the players. Usually that's where you would be expecting to find a little bit more experience, especially in the heart of defense, where they have 2 very young men. Macbeth Mahlangu is the oldest player in the back line, and he only turned 23 a couple of weeks ago. Here's Mufokeng. Oh, getting away from Ditsigani beautifully. Talented Bata, and it's fly! Oh, excellent! An astonishing effort from Talented Bata. It's just his 2nd club goal of his career. A man who has been making a habit of scoring with the national team, bringing a little bit of that to Orlando Pirates.
You got to agree with me that the build-up to that goal was certainly, I think, very, very exciting. But to think that Mbata had the vision to see that the goalkeeper was a little unsighted, that for me takes a special player. The ball was rotated beautifully. The lack of press from TS Galaxy, and also the ball just hits the ground and dashes off, making it difficult for the goalkeeper. A little bit of a deflection as well, but I think he should have done better. Just shuffle across and make sure that you're in line. That's the problem with the goalkeepers of his nature. He could have used his feet to just shuffle across and be in line with the shot, and it could have been an easy pickup, but he waits for the ball, he goes down like a bag of potatoes, and eventually that ball slips past him that easily.
Well, the deflection of Sibilivili, I think, did deceive the Ivorian shot stopper, who has experience on the continent. He's played Confederation Cup football with San Pedro, but perhaps a sense he should have done a little better. And Talenda Mbata is off the mark in the league. Scored just 1 goal in the league last season in that rout of Royal AM. And I've been saying for years that Mbata is not showing us one of the facets of his game that became apparent as a teenager with Highlands Park back in his reserve league days, which was an unbelievable ability to shoot from distance.
Listen, that is just one, but how he covers the distance from around the center line to that 45 yards area, which obviously puts the defenders under a lot of pressure if they come at such a high speed like he does. But shooting ability of the highest kind, you don't get to see this type of shots. Unfortunately, since Lompokane left the playing field, we've seen very little. Before the ball gets to beat the goalkeeper, I feel like the distance was still good enough for him to make a move and cover. It is one thing for the deflection to happen like a few yards before it gets to you. Then you have zero reaction time, but in that case he had enough.
Well, once again, it's Orlando Pirates who open the scoring in a meeting with TS Galaxy. This is the 9th time they're crossing paths. It's the 6th instance in which Orlando Pirates have scored the opening goal. And it's yet another first half goal in this tie. That is the 14th scored between these two teams, and it is the 11th that has been netted in the first half.
You can only hope that goal ignites the appetite for other players as well to try and make those attempts from some distance.
Dlamini asking a lot of Sisane. Can't nod it back into the danger area. There have only been 2 instances where both sides have scored. That's in the draw, their very, very first meeting, 1-1. As Salente Bata again gets himself into a good area, waiting for the return from Malgota.
The other ability I was talking about, his speed, his dash of speed into that zone where he can take a shot.
Taking shots and then whipped in from a different angle, but TS Galaxy have dealt with that. They're on the move now. Not a considered enough pass from Spiwa Mahlangu. Scored 8 goals in the league last season, did Mahlangu. The last of those came in that wonder win over Orlando Pirates. Kusati Tijani, the man to have set him up.
Today playing a little bit narrow. Yep. I mentioned that he forms a part of the diamond, meaning that he has to play a little bit narrow just behind the 2 strikers. And the wide area is being expected to be taken by Kabini, who is a player that likes to go forward. So if we put somebody in front of him, basically slowing down him from making movements into that taking place. So he's the right-hand side, identical. Sidirebet is one that likes to attack going forward.
Last season, TX Galaxy recovered just 5 points from losing positions in the league. Well, with that being said, Pirates dropped 14 from winning positions. They were susceptible on a few occasions to allowing the opposition to come back in. Here's a quarter! Just wouldn't come down for him in time.
Face his back, he had playing with his back to his own goal, as you can see here, but was able to.
A lot of credit has been given recently to Joseph Makanya and what he did for Kota down in the DDC. Clearly, been watching over the last year or two, you would have seen the close relationship between the two. Kota actually brought to Orlando Pirates, though, during the days of Mandla Kofi. That was back in 2021. He was playing for Soklaki University, still in the Northern Cape at that point. And what a terrific talent he is. Sipoche called up for Hugo Broos's preliminary squads for Bafana Bafana's matches in November against Uganda and South Sudan. Is one of several Orlando Pirates players who are in the mix. Plenty of them on the field tonight. Sisani, Sibisi, Bata, Mufukeng, and Makopa. As well as Maswanganya Mabasa. Mahlangu, it's his 6th season at TS Galaxy, has played every single season they spent in the top flight, and was with them their final season in the first division before they bought the status of Highlands Park. Things not quite going to plan for Siad Ramovic. Reached a century of games in charge of TS Galaxy not too far back. That was in the Carling knockout game against Chippa United. Galaxy scored their 100th goal under Ramovic in their last match against Gallants. This is a good opportunity. Oh! Played a cross goal where, in the end, it was fairly cleverly left by Dion Otto. I think he had assessed the danger and realized no one was coming in at the back post.
Had Paul realized that Otto was going to let the ball go, and would have maybe made a dash in front of him. Ball just evades everybody. Very difficult for the defenders actually to deal with it. You can understand why Otto didn't bother to touch it, because he touches it, it might end up in the back of his own net.
Good play again from 20-year-old Kabini, who provided that cross. Filled with confidence, I'm sure, after scoring against Marumo Gallants on the weekend. So he is the scorer of the 100th Galaxy goal under Siad Ramovic, and his first ever goal in senior football. Made his debut almost exactly a year ago, just under a year ago, the beginning of November, for the defeat to Supersport United. Now he has some serious defensive work to do against Nkota. Stick center foot. You will be familiar with him.
Not too many at his age will be that brave to go attack the fullback in that manner. You need aggressive wingers that will take on the fullback as much as they can.
This is a venue that for Orlando Pirates will conjure many happy memories. Won the Nedbank Cup here last season as the ball goes out to Dion Otto, who perhaps looked to be having a go. He has twice scored against TS Galaxy last season. Pirates home match, 1-0 win. Dion Otto netted through a direct free kick. The season before that, 2022-23 campaign, managed to get the winner in a 2-1 victory for Pirates right here. A game in which Terence Fukumanja had opened the scoring early. Given Sumango got Galaxy back on terms, and then it was a seeing 3 fly past it.
But the recovery, Grant,
unbelievable, yeah. And that's why he wanted that clean sheet. A clean sheet against SuperSport. He wanted another against Amazulu and Makaula. It's a goal from range.
Now Makaula is thinking to himself, I don't want to be left out of the action. Yeah, I'm sure I can strike 1 or 2. But there's an advantage to taking a shot from that range because the grass is a little bit slippery. So if it hits the ground in front of the goalkeeper, it can be anything. Makes a lot of sense for me.
Sisani. Bata. Sibisi. It's away from Evidence Makopa. Referred to Tsakasa Mabasa today, as he has been for the last few. Sibilibili. Thumped forward where Sisani just for a moment took his eye off the ball, reminiscent of that mistake against Richards Bay just before the MTN8 final where he didn't make clean contact with the long ball coming towards him and to climb all over Justice Figueiredo. So interesting to see this. Interesting, but not unusual. He did this in their last game, taking off Sibande, bringing on Mahlangu. Or rather, yeah, bringing on Mahlangu last time around. Now, taking off Sibanyoni, hasn't seen nearly enough from him, and bringing on Kadebe. Sibilibi. Velasquez. Kamini finding Tijani. Kiba. And to look between the lines, almost picking out Lindukutlembata. Kadebe. Mbata nudged down off the ball by Dlamini, who then makes the pass for Nkota. They've recovered it in the midfield, have the Rockets. Kabini strolling onto this one and then striding forward, continues to go and then clipped aimlessly forward. What an excellent, powerful run by the fullback, and then the pass was poor. But
Specie was brilliant. He's not sure what's happening behind him. He had to throw his body in that fashion just to get a touch on the ball to deflect it away from going towards goal.
There have been such a variety of scorers in this particular tie as Dion Otto gets a touch on that by his head, a crucial one at that. And then Mbata became the 12th different scorer in this particular matchup. Only Dion Otto and Marcela Flongo have scored more than once in this particular tie.
The point I was trying to make as I look at Sibisi, just putting his foot on the ball, just to calm things down, a little bit of eyes. I mentioned in the beginning that the game was played at a very fast pace.
Mufokeng goes down under the challenge of Sibilibili.
Oh, look
Oh,
at that
yeah.
knee into his tummy. I was wondering what is the feeling there. He seems to be feeling something a little bit around his abdomen area. That knee. Oh,
Originally, I was thinking Mofokeng might have gone down a little easily, but on second viewing,
yeah.
had every right to tumble to the ground. And perhaps the EFC will come calling. A perfectly timed knee up the middle. Now Dlamini's take. Over the head of all his teammates. Ira. Mashlang. Khadet. King does well. The 9 chances he created against Amazulu is the most, jointly the most in a single match over the past 5 seasons. Was originally 10, amended to 9. There have been a few players who've done that over the last couple of campaigns. The last, Elias Makwana last season versus Chipper. Evidence Makwapa, well, he was perhaps thinking it's a day for the long-range efforts, but that one not particularly good from the 24-year-old, who already has 3 goals in the league this season.
First touch lets him down because he tends away from where most of the support would have been. And being isolated from everybody and going the wrong direction, he was forced to make that attempt.
A look of discontent on the face of Sir Vramovic. Now Diahato. Birthday boy gets away from Sibilibili's challenge, and in fact was initially repelled to just the edge of the area where Talent Mbata was waiting, hit it beautifully.
Time on the volley, and yet he still is able to generate the right kind of power, which forces a great save from the goalkeeper.
Kota gets in across, connected by Hot. Munyan. Decent looking ball. pulling it back. Nice, easy, simple finish for Kabini. They were playing against 10 men. Ike Manaka sent off in the first half of that game. And the 10 men of Gallants actually able to come back and equalize about 10 minutes after the opener through Tlutlu. After a mad scramble, the free kick having hit the crossbar. TS Galaxy would have been disappointed. They couldn't beat the 10 men of Gallants. Now find themselves behind against Orlando Pirates. Good block tackle there. Bata. Scratched forward by Velasquez. Seized upon by Ditijani and Khadebe. Sibinibili on his outside. Hard running from him to get into an advanced position. Damane, 2 years ago, went on trials with the Kaiser Chiefs to leave in Drakensberg FC. Now to Tijani. Tackle from Really Mufokeng. It's falling kindly here from Bata. Kota can't find Makropa.
Very protective for Orlando Pirates of their goalkeeper. They don't allow too many shots to come, even if it's around the 40 yards. They throw the boys in front of whoever is trying to take a shot.
Easily dealt with by Sipo Chain. Orlando Pirates, unblemished record so far in the league this season, 15 points from 5 games in Jose Rivero's first 2 seasons in charge. Took Pirate 10 games in each instance to reach the 15-point mark, so what a massive improvement there. Here we can see YJ is down, so really went slipping a lot of the driving through the ball there.
Tidijana, I don't think he made any form of contact. No, it's just as he slipped, maybe might have sprained his ankle. Like I say, for me, something maybe to bring in. This type of a soil, it's muddy. It might look nice on top, but just underneath, water sits. So you find that players will have this problem of not being able to balance well, because just underneath it's very wet.
Now here's another look at the goal, William, and worth a second, third, fourth and fifth viewing. Four career goals now. We're in senior football for Bata, 2 for the national team, 2 for Orlando Pirates. A man that in the first half of last season made 2 sub appearances for SuperSport United for his loan move to the Buccaneers, where he barely ever skipped a game. Not the best record against Gauteng sides since ascending to the top flight. TS Galaxy, 41 times they've met teams from Gauteng in the Premiership. They've won 11 and lost 17. A little better at home. 20 times they've hosted Gauteng sides in the league. 8 wins, 7 losses.
A family meeting is developing there. The Adam Bata leaves the family meeting, the other one stays, and talking about the talent. And the Adam Bata, that is Lindo Buche. They seem to be chatting away, forgetting that it's a game of football.
Getting away from Makau.
Maybe we haven't spoken as much about the high press of Orlando Pirates, how they crowd the area with the ball and They force mistakes from TS Galaxy, and eventually, or should I say most of the time, they win the ball through that pressure created around. Look at this, immediately. There on the ball is crowded by 1 or 2, 3 players of Orlando Pirates.
Makgopa with a heavy touch. Mahlangu stealing it from him. Here's Radebe. Still he goes on. And brought down. TS Galaxy with a free kick. It's quite some distance out from goal, though it is very centrally positioned.
Yeah, I think SVC overreacted there. It's not like there was immediate danger that he had broken through and that he was going to take. There were still a few Orlando Pirates players behind him that would have maybe disrupted his run.
Yeah, in amongst that melee, it was Sabisi who was identified as the initial culprit, shall we say, even though Mbata himself was involved. Entering now into 3 minutes of additional time. Was a direct free kick scored in this tie last season. Dion Hotto's winner at the Orlando Stadium. 4 confer now over the ball. Velasi strides away. Ditejani playing it into Kadeves. It came down well.
Definitely there was danger lacking on that far side. Had China decided to let that ball go through, there was a red shirt just waiting on that far side. Under difficult conditions, make sure that he gobbles it into the basket.
TS Galaxy's last 3 home matches last season were all against Gauteng sides and went unbeaten. One against Swallows, one against Pirates, and drew with Mamelodi Sundowns. And their first home game of the new campaign up against another Gauteng side. This time, though, they are trailing.
It's not his day, Makgopa, this evening. He just can't get that ball in control when it gets past him. I'm not sure, it's just maybe the conditions are a little wet. He seems to be struggling to bring that ball under control every time he receives it.
Sesang so accurate with those long balls forward. Evidence Makgopa scoring from one just a minute into a game last week against SuperSport United. That was an ill-advised trick in a terrible area, and then from that TS Galaxy get a ball into the box. Kadebe goes down, referee waves away the appeals.
It'll be nice to see that one again. You can't make it seem this is what it was, not unless you take a closer look, which is why maybe the man in the middle just couldn't feel good enough to be able to make the call.
He was quite far away from it as well. Here's Mbata. Rakiba. And that's it for the first half, which ends on potentially a controversial note. TS Galaxy certainly seem to think so. Sead Ramovic and most of his coaching staff marching onto the field. Craig Etafia in conversation with the 4th official. Here's a look.
It's not deliberate. Potro is looking at the ball, and suddenly, as he tries to clear, and he bumps himself. I think his knee is the one that bumps into the back of the attacking player. Deliberate or not? But what's the question? What's the call?
Well, Orlando Pirates' lead remains intact. And after 45 frantic minutes at the Mbombela Stadium, it's Orlando Pirates who hold the advantage courtesy of a goal from Talente Mbata. They lead 1-0.
Keep the vibes going with Nazo Meals. Get a snack wrap or 2-piece chicken tenders for just $29.90 per meal. Get a Nazo Meal today, only from McDonald's.
Our fuel can go in this car, that car, the one only you dig, and cars that actually do dig, in the cars that float, even cars that fly. So no matter what you drive, ride or fly, we have the right fuel for you. Choose Astron Energy Cortec fuel for your drive today. 4-in-1 technology in every drop for every engine. With over 854 quarts in the next few years, we are South Africa's next biggest fuel brand. Welcome to Astron Energy.
Like my table is Dream Team 3. Barbecue chicken, Hawaiian, original veg. What?
Sweet chili chicken, the chicken and mushroom with that sauce. That's to be within.
Nothing beats the amazing fiery Mexican fiesta in any Dream Team 3.
Choose your Dream Team 3. Pick 3 medium pizzas from our 6 winning flavors for only $179.90. Lebanese Pizza. Try something amazing.
They are going to fight tooth and nail for this competition.
With the perfect finish. What a beauty. Second goal. Brilliantly done. What an equalizer shot. What a result here tonight.
Get all the games and all the action of the Carling Knockout Live. All on SuperSport.
I've worked hard to create a home for my family. Then came the day of the horrible storm. Thanks to iWise, our beautiful home was restored and our claim was settled.
Oh, look! 100% Mtanam. Can you give me the spoon, please? How good are you with numbers?
Very good.
100%.
Gogo, look!
Hundreds, my boy.
Gogo, it's hundreds.
Yes.
It's always hundreds with 100% pure Sunfoil.
Meet the next generation of awesome. The Samsung Galaxy A series.
Another trip to town, but you need to pick up lunch. Ish. Yeah, nah. But don't stress. With Nazo Meals tasty options, hey, lunch is sorted. Get a snack wrap or 2-piece chicken tender small meals for only $29.90. Talk about a deal worth picking up. That's Nazo Meals, only at McDonald's.
Welcome back to our studios here in Randburg. Let's update you on the halftime scores in the Betway Premiership. AmaZulu 2, Chippa United 0 at halftime. Sekhukhune United 0, Richards Bay 0 in Polokwane. Cheers Galaxy 0, Orlando Pirates 1 at the Mbombela Stadium in Mpumalanga. Well, let's go straight then to the game that is out there in Mpumalanga. That's where TS Galaxy trailed by a goal to 0. Let's show you the goal then. Bongani Khumalo Phumutso manager join me. So, Bongs, here is the move that leads to the goal.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a wonderful strike. You know, I've spoken of Mbata, having spent some time with him. Wonderful skill. Mufokeng slows him down just to get the pass on the inside. And then, yes, there's a lot of luck in terms of a goalkeeping error, but the mere fact that, you know, he's gotten the goal, I think, is just a huge positive. I mean, having played with him at Supersport as a youngster, he can hit them.
From range?
He can hit them from range. He hits them in training, and he has tremendous power. I'm so happy to see him now finally getting a goal, and hopefully he'll try more of these.
Phumutso.
I think Orlando Pirates scores the fourth goal out of the box. This season, Mbata takes it. It goes through a lot of bodies. That's why the keeper era sees it a little bit late. The bounce just in front of him, I think that's what deceives him, because as it bounces, it generates a little bit more speed, and he sees it late because of the bodies that are in front of him. He gets the goal, Mbata. Finally, he scores a scorcher like this for Orlando Pirates. We've seen him do it twice for Bafana, scoring goals like that with the left and with the right. This instance, the right foot, lace technique, gets the goal.
Orlando Pirates start on the front foot, of course, in this particular game. And you'll see just that movement up front. Makopa here doing ever so well, and here is Nkota tries from range.
Yeah, this is brilliant play in terms of just hold-up play by Makopa. You know, he obviously prefers, you know, facing goal and running with the ball, but this way, as a big man, does well to sort of protect it. And obviously, when you have runners off you, young players who are very skillful, you know, can just take it off you, now move on to the next phase and hopefully hit the target. But good try.
What I love is the understanding. When Makopa drops deep, he's leaving a hole in behind him. So that's when Nkota, Rile Mufokeng, Dlamini needs to use the spaces. But I love it when Makopa is composed on the ball. When he's not rushing, he's able to hold up the ball, bring in those offensive midfielders. Nkota, in that instance, a little bit late in terms of taking that shot. They nearly blocked it.
Okay, TS Galaxy appeal for a penalty here, right close to half-time. Look at this ball, though, because here, Dlamini loses it, and from this moment, it's trouble for the Pirates defense.
It really is. Unfortunately, I'm struggling to see why this wasn't given as a penalty, because you have a ball that is 50-50, and the mere fact that the striker gains an advantage by being in front of the last defender, and then there's contact, I can't see how it isn't a foul. You can call it a coming together of bodies, which is a yes, but the problem is the TS Galaxy striker here has an advantage by being in front.
I look at that and I look at where it starts. It starts with Dlamini losing the ball in a very sensitive position in the central corridor. He loses the ball. On transition, they go forward. That is TS Galaxy. Yes, there is contact, but I don't think Hoto's leg at any point is outstretched. Hoto's hands tagging the Radebe, the offensive player. I think I wouldn't have given it.
Okay, at the Moses Mabhida said AmaZulu lead Chippa United by 2-0. Here are the goals. You'll see here the terrific work of the big striker, Igudaro. He's the one who really makes this move. Yes, Human with the assist. Pule Extian scores.
Yeah, I mean, 2-2 for Pule Extian and a wonderful start for AmaZulu. I mean, they're desperate to get a result, haven't they? So, I mean, they've only tasted defeat this season. So, really, really tough times within the club. And this is a fantastic start coming into halftime as well at 2-0 up.
They get the second goal, Phumutso. This time it's Celimpilo Ngema, but again, you'll see here the involvement of one Human.
Human, very intelligent on the ball. Good pass from Ben Mutswari, the reverse pass that is coming from Human. Ngema has the ability to find the space in between the defenders. He takes it well. This is something that we are seeing from this Arthur Zwane coach team together with the Vilakazi. The interchange of position, the tactical flexibility, the ability to use the spaces when players are interchanging position. Well taken goal by Ngema in this instance. I think well-deserved lead.
Banyana in a friendly game, of course, playing against England. It's our live game a little bit later tonight at 21:35 right here on your World of Champions. Stay with your World of Champions then, getting ready for the second half at the Mbombela Stadium, where TS Galaxy trail Orlando Pirates by 1-0. It's the Betway Premiership. Lise Kazini forever.
Celebrate the next generation of awesome. Awesome rolls with the punches and never breaks a sweat. Embrace the night with the Galaxy A Series. Because with awesome,
Game recognizes game. Redefine style with the Galaxy A series. Of awesome. The Samsung Galaxy A series.
Keep the vibes going with Nuzzle meals. Get a snack wrap or 2-piece chicken tenders for just $29.90 per meal. Get a Nuzzle meal today, only from McDonald's.
You see, it was this game that turned boys into giants. Even today's aces inherited the name from those who came before. Kusabutha lomlilo, buzalwa abaziyo, bazokutshela, lisegazini forever.
My business is very stressful. Construction and plumbing, anything can go wrong. Then I'm trying to break all the stereotypes. The reason I chose OUTsurance because they align with my vision with regards to customer service. The fact that they won the award for best business insurance makes me feel like I'm in the right hands.
Switch to Business OUTsurance today and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Call 08600 60,000 or SMS SAVE to 43882 to switch and save today.
Royal Flush Lux Noir Gin, French luxury. Royal Flush Amber Gin. Step into the world of unparalleled luxury and sophistication. Handcrafted using only the finest French botanicals. Royal Flush French luxury.
Dateline, Edmonton, Alberta.
She has always been one of the most talented fighters in the world. This is an unbelievable card. Crazy night. I cannot wait.
It is all about this return to the North.
You do not want to miss UFC Fight Night. Moreno versus Elbassi on the 3rd of November. Live on Supersport, your world of champions. Proudly brought.
Indulge in the art of luxury, rich and smooth, elegant and sophisticated. Its depth and complexity is unmatched, creating an unforgettable.
Really produced the goods up to this point. It's never historically been a high-scoring affair. Won them in, by the way, so perhaps they'll have one more. fullback option available to them shortly. In fact, there had been an offside.
Yeah. It was a player lacking a little bit more central, which is what that ball was intended for. As you can see, when the ball was passed, I can't see exactly or wise. Might have been Bunjani. He was ahead of the line. Unfortunately, I think once again, something I said coming into the second half is that the attacks from TS Galaxy are not forceful enough to force any errors. It's easy for Orlando Pirates defenders to deal with, but also the numbers in that middle of the park are making it difficult for TS Galaxy midfielders to find the final pass that will matter. So Pirates are in total control, but it's a dangerous lead. It's 1-0, and a reverse attack can happen any time whereby Galaxy might, can find themselves on the front foot with just one chance and take.
Finds the back of the net with a beauty. Well, after celebrating his 20th birthday, we can no longer refer to him as the teenage sensation, but perhaps he's just graduated to fully fledged superstar.
Listen, it takes brains to be able to see your environment and read the necessary situation to develop the play in that fashion. They've been trying to find the pass that will matter. It hasn't been happening. Mbata scored from such a range, and the young star has graduated to be able to realize that you don't have to walk the ball into the back of the net. You can shoot. Yeah, it's a Velase that loses ball control. Oh, that's a cracker of the goal. Oh, no chance for the goalkeeper. Oh, it's a beauty. Top corner. Whew. I was talking about that exactly, that this is what is lacking for Orlando Pirates. Yes, they're in control, but that 1-0 lead is always a very big concern.
Well, his promise was evident when he made his debut at the tail end of the 2022-23 season. Last season made a fairly slow start at the beginning of the campaign, just in terms of the numbers he contributed to goals, to assists. They weren't really there. Then after the Africa Cup of Nations, he came back so strongly, and he has carried that momentum into this new campaign. More often than not this season, he's been the man supplying his teammates. 2 wonderful assists for Mount Kota a few days ago. Now he gets himself on the score sheet with an absolutely glorious strike. Got it. A little bit behind here, Hartable. Picked up by Talenton Mbata. Gilberto on his heels.
Yeah. That's the way to describe it, because he couldn't take off because his heels were ducked on the ground. Still can't get over that goal.
Terrific strike. It's the latest that a goal has ever been scored in meetings between these two. Sphiwe Mahlangu's goal in their last meeting in May of this year, end of last season, scored in the 68th minute. That had previously been the deepest into a game between Galaxy and Pirates at the back of the net had been found. This is the 15th goal between the two of them, and only the 4th time that there's been a goal scored in the second half.
Sometimes I think Sibiribili is being wasted playing as a right fullback, because his biggest asset is being able to take defenders on and creating scoring chances in the attacking period.
I'm sure Mofokeng, now having got off the mark in the league, will be looking to eclipse his best ever tally in the Premiership. That's 3 that he scored last season. Well, I still perhaps believe a comeback could be on the cards, but I don't think there's very much conviction in those beliefs from a Galaxy perspective.
That belief comes from the attempts that you'll have maybe attempted previously or earlier on, but that hasn't been the case. China hasn't been troubled much in his goal. Oh, Keshoff heads that. Sibiribili. Probably seeing stars right now.
He's just peeled himself up off the turf now. There's Sibiribili. .52 touches for him in this game. He's trying to make things happen, but can really come off for him. And he has ventured forward, and there haven't been all too many opportunities to do that, to get into the spaces that he really enjoys.
Running in back into the field without notifying the official on the far side.
Needlessly picks up a yellow card.
The official on the far side.